What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the DownSouthPackers podcast with me, your host, Anthony Boyd. Today, I kind of want to go over a quick pregame preview of the Panthers versus Packers on this Sunday. I'm trying to dive into where I feel like the Packers can be successful going against this Panthers team. Kind of give you what I've seen, studying this Panthers team over the last few days, kind of going into their film some and looking at some analytics and how they kind of compare against this Packers team. Watch some Panthers games here. Being a guy from South Carolina, just 30 minutes south of Charlotte, I know a lot about the Panthers. I've seen the highs and the lows. I've seen the Cam Newton days, and I've seen in my early life the Jake Delhomme days. I mean, they did go to Super Bowl, but they had some rough times as well in there, some Jimmy Clausen. So I've been around the Panthers as well, been around some Panthers fans. My first Packers game was in Charlotte against the Panthers in 2023. I got to see Jordan Love lead the team to a victory there on Christmas Eve, and that was fun, hearing the Go Pack Go chants around the stadium. But that Panthers team gave us a run for our money there at the end. They started coming back. Bryce Young stormed back in that second half, as he often does. If you've watched Bryce Young play football, the first half might be rough, but in the second half, he's going to try to recover and play well. So I think that's something the Packers will have to look out for. But going into kind of breakdown of this game and what I've seen, just looking at some of the stats and some of the film, this Panthers offensive line is gettable in terms of the pass game. You can get after Bryce. You can really heat him up, and he is an okay passer against the blitz. He's 58%, I believe, his completion percentage is against the blitz. So if you get pressure on him, then you have a good chance of at least the play being unsuccessful. So I think that's something that the Packers defensive line can really take advantage of, especially with the injuries that the Panthers are dealing with on the offensive line. I believe their starting center is out tomorrow, and they have a tackle who's questionable, and two linemen that are questionable. So they're dealing with some injuries. Even if those two guys who are questionable do play, I believe that the Packers will still be able to get after Bryce Young, who is coming off of an ankle injury, I believe. So if Micah and Rashawn and White can really get after him, then it'll make his life pretty tough tomorrow. So that's something that I think the Packers will be able to exploit. Bryce isn't that great of a passer in the first place, quite just look at statistically, and he makes great plays at times. He's very inconsistent. He hasn't passed for 200 yards once this season. And if we're really looking at target share, I believe Tet gets 24% of the targets on their offense right now in terms of the passing game. Just shut Tet down. Really bracket him, take Ted out of the game, and Bryce is neutralized in the passing game as of right now. That's how it's been all season. If you can contain Ted, then you're likely going to contain this offense. They don't have many other weapons. I respect Hunter Renfrow being a Clemson guy. I really respect what he's done and what he's been able to achieve in the NFL, but I don't think he's a legitimate threat right now. And as long as the Packers can kind of take Ted out of the game, I think they've done a great job in the passing game. Their offense is 29th in yards per game for the season, so it's not great in Carolina throwing the football. But I will say where they excel is their run game. Their run game is a pretty good two-headed monster. Chuba Hubbard's been out with some injuries this season, but he was a 1,000-yard rusher last year, and obviously people have paid more attention to Rico Dowdle and how well he's been able to run the football when he's been in the game this year. You got to watch out for those guys. They're fifth in the league in rushing yards per game. So the run defense of the Packers, which has been really good, with the strong interior with Colby Wooden and the linebackers filling gaps with Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper using their speed, getting sideline to sideline. I think that'll be a fun matchup to see. As long as these guys can keep Chuba and Rico bottled for the most part, don't allow big plays, I believe Rico has over double-digit 10-yard carries during the season, 10-plus yard carries this season. So he has home run ability. Do not let him get going. He will get some momentum as long as the Packers are kind of containing that, playing a very similar defense to what they have all year, kind of a bend but don't break. I think the Packers will be fine. Defensively, they're okay on defense. I think the Packers should be all right going up against this Panthers defense. J.C. Horn's obviously J.C. Horn. He's a pretty good corner. I think it's 3 interceptions and only giving up a little over 200 yards and on 18 completions and maybe giving up 2 touchdowns or something like that. So J.C. Horn's obviously great. Probably want to stay away from him. But they have a corner who is very gettable. Nick Scott. Nick Scott is someone who the Packers will probably target. He's allowing a passer rating of, I have it here, 120.1 when targeted. Sounds very similar to a Packers corner who was struggling last game. But Nick Scott's been doing this all year. He's kind of the guy you want to target on their defense. Hopefully the Matt LaFleur can draw some things up, scheme some things up, maybe get Matthew Golden over there on him so Packers fans can be happy about him scoring a touchdown. But I think in terms of passing the football, the Packers should be just fine. Running the ball, Panthers defense is kind of middle of the road, kind of like the Packers rushing offense at this moment. The Packers are very clearly better at running to the left side of the offensive line at this moment in time. Kind of got to fix that. And the Packers are very, not going to say predictable, but they choose to run the ball at a much higher clip to the strong side of the formation. I'd like that to change. But with how run blocking has been for the Packers up until this point, they have no choice. Just kind of have to run with the numbers. Try to get Josh Jacobs going. Josh Jacobs is averaging like 0.7 yards before contact. He's getting hit behind the line at a higher clip than he ever has in his career, I believe. So I think we need to get some push on that offensive line. Derek Brown's sitting in the middle. I know that's going to be a hard guy to move around. He missed a lot of time last year for the Panthers. He's back this year. Started the season real strong, kind of tapered off up until this point. But Derek Brown's still a really good player. And I think that the Packers offensive line needs to get a push. Let's get Josh Jacobs going this game. You saw the success that the Bills were able to have with James Cook last week. They were able to run the ball efficiently because you saw that Josh Allen pretty much did nothing last game. It was really just get on James Cook's back and let him carry us to victory. So hopefully we could kind of live that same way. I'd like to see the running game get going to the Packers. I want Josh Jacobs to get going. I want to see his production pick up here. I think this is a great spot for it to happen. This Packers offense should just keep rolling. I believe that Jordan Love has balled all year, honestly, and he's balled against defenses who I think are a little bit better than this one that they're going against this Sunday. It's all about being aggressive, though, and I think a big thing that the Packers have struggled with last few years is playing down the competition and just not being aggressive whenever you have the chance to. And I think this past Sunday you saw it some against the Steelers. Finally, once the Packers got up, it seemed like they were wanting to finish the job versus kind of playing it safe, being a little more conservative. I think the Packers have that opportunity if they get up in this game, be aggressive, finish the job, because that's what elite football teams do. You don't give the other team an opportunity to come back, especially when it's someone that you would consider an inferior opponent. I think the Packers have that opportunity here. The Panthers get no pass rush at all. They're 31st in pressure rate. So they're not getting any kind of pressure on Jordan Love, hopefully, in this game, as long as the offensive line is doing what they've been doing. And Jordan Love has been great from a clean pocket, just top 2 in the league in about every statistical metric whenever he has a clean pocket. Jordan Love should be able to feast on this defense of the Panthers. Super excited to see this game. Like I said, this video is kind of short, so I'm just going to give a quick little prediction what I think is going to happen. I think that the Packers win this game 30-17. Kind of struggling with that one because the line is at 12.5. The Packers just are not great against the spread, but I'm going to say the Packers cover 30-17. Like I said, I think Jordan Love has a decent day, but hopefully Josh Jacobs gets going. Hopefully this defense plays as strong as they can play, shutting Bryce down, containing him, and containing this run game. Just a great matchup for the Packers. I'm hoping that they win this game just for my bragging rights here in this local area. I can go around to my uncle and a lot of other people who I know who are Panthers fans and kind of rub it in their face. Hey, we won again. But this should be a good game for the Packers. Like I said, 30-17 will be my prediction. They'll cover a big spread for the first time all year, and I'll be a happy camper. Probably going to close this video out on that. I just want to say again, thank you guys for watching my videos. We're just starting here. Hopefully we continue to build a community, continue to try to build this bigger community of Packers fans. If you want to, you can follow me on X at DownSouthPack. You can also, I have a link in this, it'll be in the description of this video. It's in the on my YouTube channel as well. But our Packers Roundtable, make sure you join that. Just another way for Packers fans to come together and connect. I'm super excited about, again, growing this community. Thank y'all for supporting so far. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all later.